Now, this morning, I caught wind of the Sandra Bland situation. And for those of you who don't know about the Sandra Bland situation, I mean, the whole massacre in South Carolina, North Carolina, all the Trayvon Martins. I mean, this is just like, I mean, like this world is really taking it there. And I like to make a disclaimer. First and foremost, I ain't professing to be a pastor. I ain't professing to be a professor. I ain't professing to know everything. And if you guys have any feedback or you have some information you want to share with me, please share it, because I am a sponge to what this whole informational video is about. And no, I'm not going to be going into depth about what X means and how it applies to that, and what Y means and how it applies to that. No, I'm not. I'm just going to give you some things to research for yourself, and if you want me to go in depth later on, I can. So, and then another disclaimer I'm going to mention is that this is not anything against white people. I shouldn't say white. Caucasian is the correct term I should be using, because there are many Caucasians that don't know about the information that I'm going to give you, and there are I'm friends with a lot of good-hearted, genuine Caucasian people. So this is not a black or white thing. This is just a global, spiritual, and economic thing. Another disclaimer I'm going to also add is that I'm not saying that the world is going to end. I'm not saying that the Armageddon is approaching. I don't know. None of us know. I just want to give you guys some information and hopefully broaden your view as to the world we live in. So back to Sandra Bland. I'm astonished, at the idea that she was found hung by a garbage bag. Now, anybody that I know that work in the system or have been in the system, I'm not aware that they have access to garbage bags in their cell. That's number one. And number two, is someone, well, it's all over the internet that the young lady was dead before, well, her mugshot was taken while she was dead. I don't know if that's true, but when they broke it down, how her shoulders was up, her head was expanding, and and that compared to her other pictures, it made me think. Now, down to the information that I would like you to research to broaden your sight as to the world we live in. I want you guys to Google a few things. One is corporations that have been downsizing in the last 2 to 3 years. And really, the chaos has started to occur 7 years ago. But what's been happening has been crazy. I mean, you're talking about animals, fish that shouldn't even be near shorelines, swimming ashore. You're talking about airplanes crashing into mountains, just all kind of chaotic stuff. And I can't say if it's God or if it's people messing with the world to create distractions. But I know that there are a ton of distractions, that are deterring people from reality and truth. We're not even going to mention the entertainment distractions. I mean, we can. I mean, and I'm pro-choice because I'm nobody's judge, and nobody is nobody's judge when it comes to people's choices in lives. But Caitlyn Jenner, distraction, pro-choice. More power to you. More power to you. Caitlyn Jenner, even I agree, Black lives do matter, but the massacre, just the Trayvon Martins, the Sandra Blands now, are distractions. I mean, when I started realizing something was up, I've been living in Brooklyn for a few years now, and there's a lot of people in foreclosure, and there's a lot of people that they're either afraid or embarrassed to speak up, and I encourage you not to be afraid or embarrassed to ask for help. There are people that have been in trouble, and a certain group of people investors, but a certain group of investors will go and knock on people's, because it's public information, will go knock on people's door with a briefcase full of, let's just say $100,000, $300,000, and open it up and say, hey, I know you're in trouble. Here's some cash. We'll take care of it for you. Move on with your life. Now, to someone who doesn't understand the economy, how it works, etc., oh yeah, that would be enticing. But then you have to ask yourself, why are they offering me this lump sum of cash for my house? What is it that they know that I don't know? Think, okay? And this is not only in Brooklyn, this is like all over the globe, okay, that's happening. Think about it. Companies are downsizing. I think it's not the U.S. Treasurer, but I can't remember who it is that has to make a decision to increase interest rates or decrease them within the next 5 months. And I'm so sorry, I can't think of the person's name or the title, but that has to occur. And this is all around the new election. Now, we all know that around the new elections, there's always some kind of drama and stuff like that. Oh, and another thing, Trump he's a distraction with his shenanigans. Now, I respect Trump and, you know, how he lost it all and rebuilt it up. I respect that. But you have to kind of look past what's real and what's not. Not saying that what Trump is doing is not real, but come on. The things he's been saying and doing, look past it and see what's going on, okay? So, now the information that I want to give you, if I haven't already started yet, because I can ramble. I want you to Google. Whoa. I want you to Google. First I said why companies or what companies have been downsizing in the last 3 years, and think to yourself why. Major corporations downsizing, leaving the market of New York City. I mean, companies closing its doors in major markets. Okay? And this applies to, I mean, when you look at Greece and them needing to do a financial bailout, okay, a whole country, and then now you're talking about China, and what kind of debt? And in trouble how? Now then, when you add on top of that how much debt we are in with China, doesn't look good. Okay? So Google that about the corporations. Also, just to give you a little bit so you can understand or try to collectively understand where I'm going with this, do some research on Tekken or Tekkan. Tekhen or Han. Some people spell it differently. But the Tekkan or Tekken, the ancient Egyptian Tekken, which is the Washington Monument, I believe, in Washington, D.C. And Google the ancient Egyptian Tekken where it relates to the United States. Just to give you some background history. In addition to that, Google and do some, research on the Black Law Book. Okay? Now, I needed to share this with somebody. I can talk to my family and I can talk to friends and just colleagues and stuff like that, but it's beyond a conversation. This is about sharing at this point. The last thing I want you to do some research on is the Shemitah. The Shemitah is a Jewish 7-year cycle, and the last one occurred in 2007, 2008. And it's so crazy because when I was a sales manager of a mortgage company and a sales team, I managed a sales team of 30, and I had to do, I called them into a meeting, and I told them, listen, you guys need to change the way you market, and you guys need to change the way, you generate new business, because a year from now, the environment we work in will not look the same. The economy we live in, the world we live in, will not look the same. Lo and behold, 2008, 777 across the board, and the stock market was the most historic to date bottom. Okay? And it took some years to recover, but this whole recovery that we're recovering from this 2007, 2008 fallout is methodically organized. The inflation is being forced, and I'm speaking in real estate and even in economics in general. The inflation is being enforced. It truly is. And again, I can go in depth later about it, but back to the Shemitah. Look up the Shemitah. It's a 7-year cycle. It relates biblically to the Bible, to the Torah. And I'm not sure about the Quran because I haven't gotten that deep into the Quran yet. But biblically, yep, it's in the King James. When you look at the 7-year cycles, anything that has to do with the number 7 in the Bible. Some of y'all are already with me on this. So the last one was in 2007, 2008. We are approaching another one. It's supposed to occur this September. With that being said, this September, as a matter of fact, the date is even more profound to me because it's around the birthday of somebody that is super close to me. And the beginning of the new Shemitah is supposed to start on my birthday. So that's neither here nor there. Look up the Shemitah. When you look at the Shemitah, when you look up the Takam, when you look up the Black Law Book, and you look up corporations that have downsized in the last 2 to 3 years, and you think about why, hopefully it will help you bring together or, have a broader view as to what's really happening, the distractions that they're giving us, and hopefully it'll help you prepare for what's coming. Now, another disclaimer, I'm not saying Armageddon is coming. I'm not saying that we're going to be in another recession or depression. But what I'm saying is that the trends are showing specific things that I've seen before and that have been seen well before I was even born. And the Shemitah that is approaching is the 70th or the 77th in the last 100 years. And because the Shemitah is focused around the number 7, just do your research. I think I said enough. And if you like what I had to say, please comment. If you have any questions, like, subscribe. You know what they be saying on YouTube and all that and all that. And if you want a little tutorial with my little makeup that I ain't perfect with and a little wig I made, you can hit me up. I'll hook you up. Mwah. Smooches.